Okay, let's see how this one turns out. Hands shaking again, folks. Sorry. Hopefully this anti-camera shake feature on this phone is going to prevent the phone from shaking too much in the demo. Let's see what we can do with this piece of shit fucking dumbass copier system. Let's see if we can make it do anything decent. I think we're going to have to lighten this up further. Okay. Let's see what we have. We have here a sold off market, 83 Abbott Street, Abbott Street, Cammeray. Yeah, not far from where I live. Anyway, let's see if we can make this. We're photocopying this area here in this piece. So this is like leafy sort of a pattern to make a nice advertisement. I don't fucking have a use for this product. I don't have the money to buy my own place. But I'm using it because I like the graphic. I'm just focusing on a little piece of graphic. I'm fascinated by the kind of images you find in advertising, and I like to make something out of them, take them out of their confine and make them free, so to speak, make them more interesting than what they were originally intended for. That looks nice. Wondering if we're going to, maybe it's a bit too light because it looks wishy-washy. We've got to use this as a master copy. We've got to make a master copy out of this. So, but basically, now what am I doing here? I don't want to go there. Stupid. I've got to work out. So we're going to go and take out this. We're just going to put that in the middle. But basically, yeah, this is it's nice to use advertising as a mean of creating interesting images, because they are very nice images. I see so many of them, you know. I've always been fascinated by this, by taking a mundane commercial and turning it into a work of art. That's how I like to work, folks. I try to be creative, even though these artworks that we see, or these graphic design works, don't always lend themselves ready to experimentation. They're still a bit difficult, a bit awkward to work with because of all the advertising stuff, like writing and you know, like the text and all that. I don't like the text in these advertisings, so I'm always fighting against the text in the image, because it's always in the way. Like you can see here, the text is in the way and I don't want the text, so we're going to just enlarge that off. So we're just going to line that up in the top corner. But I'm still fascinated by the graphics, and I try to use the graphics as much as I can while trying to avoid showing the text and all the other shit that comes with the advertising. So let's see how we go. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks a bit dark, a little bit dark and grainy. Wondering where the centre of this job is going to be. Trying to think where we're going to enlarge it a bit smaller so we get a bit more of that leaf there. But we don't want the word Cammeray in the image. So we're going to reduce the enlargement a little bit. So the enlargement's going to be 130 by 130. So just take a bit of that out. So we're taking a bit off, a fair amount. Yeah, that looks interesting. We got the edge of that leaf. Looks like it's going to make a nice mirror image. We've got that leaf there. We still got a large portion of black, but I'm actually thinking that this might hopefully work as a mirror image. It's not an easy thing to work with, folks. I'm just doubting whether I'm doing this right. I'm just sort of thinking it's not going to look any good. Perhaps. It's not an easy thing to do, folks. Sometimes working in the area of photocopier art, or in this case copier configuration art, can be challenging. You know, and then you got the curling of the papers too when you got lots of black and all that sort of shit. It's not an easy thing to control, doing this. People think that photocopier art is easy, or you get that impression when you try to sell your stuff to the art galleries, try to get the art galleries interested. Well, you're not actually selling the art, you're trying to get an exhibition. And the art galleries treat it like it's a piece of shit. They don't say why or how, but they'll say things like, oh, it's not suitable to our culture. What sort of culture are they talking about? I thought they were talking about whether my work was international or not, but I think they mean rich culture, as in the kind of thing that a rich person would go and see. And we got this ugly little piece of something on there. But basically, you get the feeling that they don't like your work because they think it's easy. You know, and back in the 90s, they didn't have video cameras in phones, and mobile phones were only becoming available to the average person sometime in the late or the mid-90s, and basically they didn't have the kind of cameras that we have these days, and we didn't have social media, so we had to rely on conventional means of disseminating your material, and the art galleries let me down. So, but that looks quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.